Baxtamir, as you break through the ice of the nearby wall toward the sound of movement, the scent of fire, the possibility of finding survivors. It's just after blocks of ice crumble and hit the ground. There is a dim light in the room spread by a small fire at the edge of being extinguished. You see a flash of movement, something blue, something mauve in color out of the corner there, and then bam, you're hit in the chest hard. Salinger, please make an advantaged unarmed attack roll. At first, whatever hit you was so big that you think that it might have been a beast, but there's a flash of a face, wild hair. Okay, so taking a look in Roll20 here, it says unarmed strike, but it did not give a result. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, okay. It was just lagging. I had to refresh the character sheet.
Gotcha. All right, so the 22 hits your armor.
For sure. Yeah.
Boom, you're hit hard, knocked off your feet. You hit on your back in piles of ice and rock that have collapsed to the ground. There's something large on top of you. Salinger.
I thought you were dead, Silas. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't make sure that's true.
Shit. Oh, is that a Yeti? What?
Rude as I remember. That's not a very good reason. He starts to reach over his shoulder.
Wait, dude, you can talk? You can talk? Wait, can I talk? Ow, shit. Ow! Bax is gonna go try to push him, try to shove him off so that he can stand up. $19. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, Bax will scramble, getting up and like pull one of his spears off his back and like get into defensive stance. All right, bud, I'm going to give you exactly one more chance. Do not do that again. Can we be civil? Or are you going to go for it again?
You see him kind of breathing heavily, clenching one arm in a fist. He's still kind of wrapped in a lot of fur, so you can't tell his features. He's got curly hair all in front of his face. Civil. You asking me be civil. He straightens up. Silas said there was a nicer, dumber version of himself. You Bax?
Yes? Do I? Wait. You know Silas? Oh shit. You know Silas? I'm not. I'm not Silas. I'm not. I can prove. Ask me something only Silas would know. Ask me. No. Ask me something only I would know. Shit.
Don't know you.
All right. Whatever Silas did, I'm sorry.
Well, he would never say that, so you're clearly not him. We can just. You still have a very punchable face.
Not the worst thing that's ever been said about me, so that's fine. But are we? You're not. If you shoulder check me again, I will break your arm. But we're good.
Pushes his hair back and pulls it out of his eyes so you can actually see him. Clearly not a Yeti. Pale blue skin, brownish orange eyes. Bit of a smirk on his face. No, I'm not going to hit you again. Actually, I'm a Yeti, and I didn't. Um, no, I won't hit you again.
Okay. Bax will stow the spear away. Hi, my name's Bax. I'm Bax Demir.
Hi, I'm Salinger Morel. Why did you just burst through a wall into this ice cave that I'm currently trapped in?
I was looking for survivors. I heard some movement. I saw what I thought was firelight, so you know, I couldn't find another way around, or there wasn't really time to find another way around. It's dangerous out here, so I figured that'd be faster to get two survivors if I just kind of just went directly to them if I could, and then I found a weak point.
Clearly. Is it a weak point we can get back out of? Because I have.
Oh, I mean, probably it's dark. How much firelight do you have left?
A little.
Right. Let's gather up whatever you got. We'll see if we can make some, fix up some makeshift torches and just try and find a way out. You're not part of the group that I was looking for. I'm. Are you?
No.
Okay. What were you doing here?
Searching for some answers in this cave system. Then got
Vaguely.
blocked in by a storm.
Oh yeah, those kind of pop up out of nowhere sometimes. Well, do you need a hand? And Bax, I almost keep saying Silas. Bax will begin moving, cautiously, kind of moving around you towards the firelight to kind of like begin motioning to like help you pack up. And with a bit more light, you see that very easily could be mistaken for Silas. Essentially, is Silas, but there are some very noticeable different features. For one, his hair is much shorter now. It appears to be have been recently cut as well. Like it's sitting at around chin mid neck length. A series of many more facial and neck scars, and where you would expect to see white sclera in the firelight, you see only a glint of just like a void where his right eye should be. And he goes over, just kind of like begins to help you like get all your supplies together. It is just dark. He hasn't gotten that good of a look at it yet, so I haven't gone into full description yet. Yeah, I mean, this won't get us far, but we'll at least be able to be out of the immediate extreme elements, if nothing else.
It's a step in the right direction. Appreciate you helping me pack up.
Yeah, not a problem. Happy to. Are you a Yeti? I said that before, and I only say it because I you're the I've never met anyone like you before, and I don't want to be rude about that, but I'm just kind of being blown away right now. I'm sorry.
Compared to my expectations, your behavior, you have been anything but rude, Mr. Bax.
Oh, don't do
Well,
that. Just backs, please, please.
Fine, no titles. I'm not a Yeti. If we want to get down into species specifications, I'm a furball, technically a giant kin, generally known for their shades of blue to gray skin. We are large by build. My family line's a little bit larger than average. Does that help? Not gonna eat you.
I was gonna be fifth question, maybe. That's good though. Okay, great. Um, well, I think we're about ready to go. I guess we'll. I'll lead the way if you want. I don't. I just, you know, I don't want to make you nervous or anything.
No, we're good now. You're looking for survivors, and it's on my route. I'm just exploring the general area to find piece together some ideas. So I'll help you while you're heading that way, since you're not the extremely punchable individual that you appear to be.
Just give me a bit of time. I don't know. No. I'm much better than Silas. Well, I shouldn't say much better. I, yeah. I'm more tolerable than Silas in some regards. Other regards, less so. It's fine. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll lead the way.
You are just as talkative as he is. I'll follow.
Neat.
roll 20, you should have been moved to another map.
Well, I think it's probably got me a little bit too close to this thing.
No, I think that's about the right spot.
The troll ain't seen us yet, right? We can still bail.
Potentially.
Is it really tradition?
That is a large fellow.
And for you all, just moments ago, hearing the sound of a roar after the death of a young fair-haired boy, the cave is behind you. You headed out on the cliffside to catch sight of who some of you recognize as Talith Alanasti, engaged in battle with an enormous frost troll. You see Merrick, the armor-clad stranger, move to the edge of the ice, surveying the surroundings. And just a moment ago, I believe Sav had called out Talith's name, her voice echoing off of the rocks. I would like everyone to do our first initiative roll. And that includes Bex and sound objectives.
It's fine. I will happily
Mine
go
doesn't
last.
seem to roll.
Oh, it's out.
It's the initiative, big red button that says initiative, right?
I use a macro, but yeah, another player might be able to help.
That's what I clicked.
It is, in fact, that one. Although, should we use the macro so that... Does it add us to the... I don't know what this jump gate does yet. Does it add us to the roll thingy?
I'm trying to figure out how to make the initiative thing here. I don't see the usual control.
I'm also
Turn
not able to
order
roll
there.
my initiative.
Yeah, the button, it's like you click the button and nothing happens.
Okay, I've got the
Mine
initiative.
did query, so check that.
I don't think the query actually works. Or at least I have not been able to get it to work anytime I've tried.
I guess I can just enter it manually.
I can also roll for you. Let's see.
Also,
So, for those who did roll, I'm just checking the numbers here. Sav is 15, Sound 3. Yeah, these seem to line up. And I've got Mosriel at 3 as well.
I don't know why mine rolled like that.
It looks like it rolled you disadvantage. Oh, because you're heavily encumbered.
mine rode like that as well,
Oh.
actually.
That's not right.
Peach gets off the back of most real. Sorry.
Well, Talith got 2 of the same dice roll, so it didn't matter. And it was the first number used for Mosriel, so it also ends up not mattering. But yeah, figuring out why that's happening would be really good, ultimately.
Also, how do I turn off whisper? Because I think my roll was whispered.
Yes, it was. On your character sheet, up at the top of the character sheet, there should be something that says like Whisper GM.
Okay, gotcha.
And then let's see, I can roll for people whose initiative thing isn't working.
Yeah, roll 2 d20s and take the higher of the two.
Damn, mine isn't working for some reason. Neither the manual button or the macro.
Also, do we all have inspiration to start off with? Or just the humans among us?
Let's actually go over that roll. So is it like humans begin after a long rest with inspiration that is not a new ability? Yeah, I mean, I think we
Yes.
should keep it just for them. Another thing that we'll want to do is at some point turn on the thing where it does the automatic tiebreaker, so you get like the 13.14 for initiative and stuff like that. We don't have to do it right now, but as we slowly figure out our stuff.
Can you roll initiative for me as well? Thank you.
If you do want to do that right now, it's in the little red manage toolset button at the top, very top right of the character sheet. Or opens up sheet settings, and that has use 2024 rules. Always roll
see
damage,
that.
add Dex, tiebreaker to initiative.
You have to walk me through it at some other point.
Down at the southern side of the map, emerging from some shadowed rocks, see two figures. May be familiar to some of you.
We can see these figures if we're on the ridge.
Yeah, I think so. And familiar enough to some of you that you would pick out their silhouettes and their movement. Yeah, I think you pick out Salinger Morel. Backstory.
Next to Ray and Sav, you notice Peach, who had kind of been staying backwards quite a few steps from the edge, suddenly scramble right to the edge and go hands and knees at the edge of the cliff, trying to get a better look at the people coming in from the south. And she'll say to her new friends, "That's him, that's him, that's him, that's him, that's him. I know him anywhere. I know him anywhere from anything. That's him. That sounds alive."
Sav glances over there. Her attention has been fixed on. I guess she probably barely sees Tal behind this crossback troll, but then she glances over at where Peach or Prospera is indicating, and then blinks, and then says in pretty much the same exact tone as she had before, "Bax?"
Interesting.
Who's Bax? Looks like he's traveling with that asshole Silas.
Long story. Silas is dead. That's probably Bax. Unless they don't finish that thought.
Oh, it's fine. I, was friends with twins back in Sheps, and, everybody said Exlana Shalati. You couldn't tell the difference between them, but I knew they were totally, one was the Bax and one was the Silas, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a probably end conversation there because we are in the midst of combat. Just okay. Are we missing anyone else in initiative? Yeah, the young halfling Velp says, "I need help. I'll find a way down." And he runs over the rocks. The frost troll, a slash in his chest from Talith's sword, lumbers closer. Actually, doesn't need to move. Doesn't quite need to move because it has long arms. Let's see if I can detach this thing. Do you know if there's still a way to detach? Can we detach character sheets from Roll20?
Yeah, like when you say detached, you mean like pull it into another window?
There we go. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So this enormous creature, standing much taller than Tala, even Salinger, a hulking beast, lumbers forward. And each time its feet hit the ground, you can feel the impact. It takes a swipe at Talith with an enormous hand with claws, blue tint. So he's going to make an attack. Works. Oh, it's querying me. Interesting. Try to set that up. Oh, Alright, so he swipes at you. It rolls a 2 plus 9 for an 11. Does an 11 hit your armor class, Tom?
No.
Alright. So this enormous hand and claw swipe at you. You can tell it would hurt bad if it hit you. How do you deflect the blow?
So as the blow comes at him, he braces for it and he raises his shield. And as he does, he goes with the momentum of it, letting it carry him over just a little bit as it swipes across the top of his shield. And then he goes back into ready position.
You can tell from seeing this attack that more than likely such a devastating blow could potentially even hit more than one person at a time. But currently, you're the only one in range. There is the slightest bit of damage on this creature already from the previous swipes of your sword. Let me... It's just funny how this worked out, but I'll go ahead and do this ability. I'll name something strange. Yeah, so you've seen that the swipe of your sword was effective even through this creature's tough hide. Should resize these windows to make sense of myself. Okay. Trying to think if there are any other abilities that should already be shared with you. Creature roars, and you can see its breath frosting on the air. You can feel a chill pass over you, like a cold wind. Tal, it's your turn.
Okay. So first and foremost, when he hears Sav yell his name, and even whenever he hears her yell Bax, he hears it, but he doesn't pay it any attention at the moment as he's staying focused in his fight. And as the echo of the sound passes him and the claw swipes across his shield, when he comes back to, he will cast Shield of Faith on himself as a bonus action. And then he will follow up with 2 swings of his sword. And if that hits, I just click damage for the damage numbers, right?
Yeah, you can also set that up to automatically roll in your character sheet, but yeah, so you can click damage. 26 does in fact hit the creature.
That was the first strike.
Alright, so it looks like you're doing 7 damage, 7 slashing, and then 4 radiant damage.
Yes.
So it's a total of 11. Okay. And so when you hit it with the creature with that blow, it does trigger one of its abilities that you'll know. So whenever this creature takes 20 or more damage in a single turn, it begins to empower the strength of its next attack, its fury growing.
Good to know. All right, and consecutively, like almost in one fluid motion, he will bring his sword down for his second attack.
Oh, that's a critical hit.
So then, for the damage, because it has crit damage, do I just hit click damage and crit damage, or do I just click?
That's a good question. Try clicking crit first and see what it does.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So when you click that, it seems to roll both sets of dice automatically, so you don't have to click both those buttons, just the critical. So it looks like that's 16 points of damage.
Not the best rolls for a crit, but hey, a crit.
Although I just realized there is something I neglected. It is actually resistant to the radiant portion of your damage, so it'll gain back a little.
Okay.
So it's recovered 5 hit points. Yeah. So 2 slashes of your sword through the creature, and there's shallow bits of blood and cuts through its thick hide. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No, he will stay right there.
The end of your turn, Tal. The creatures use a legendary action. You're spending one of its potential 3. It's taking a swipe attack against you. Does a 15 hit your armor class?
It does not.
And once again, that enormous clawed hand comes swiping in toward you. But you managed to take it in the shield. You slid back a few feet on the ice. You can tell this thing is strong. Sav, it's your turn.
So after having screamed the names and then traded a few hasty words with Proserpina, Sav pulls out the carved fluted rod from somewhere beneath her cloak and over to the edge and points at the broad back of this creature and unleashes a flurry of these hot white beams that burst out of the end of the rod with a high fluting note. What songs would you say that this creature classifies as?
I think it's a huge category. I'm not exactly sure how it sets up different in the sizes now. I know there's large, certainly huge. Do they have bigger things now?
Gargantuan. I think that also exists before.
Okay.
And then I think Gargantuan's the biggest.
It all depends on. Do you happen to know off the top of your head what the requirements to be a gargantuan creature?
It's basically, so medium's 1 block, large is 4, huge is the next one around, so that's 3x3, so a gargantuan is 4x4 and bigger.
Okay, this is gargantuan then.
Okay. So she is going to cast Scorching Ray at 5th level. So all of those are going to be at the troll. Which ones? It's 15, 20, 28, 15, 14, 19.
This creature's armor class is a 20.
Okay, so it's 1 set of damage, so that's 3 of them hit. Or, sorry, 2 of them hit. Wow, it doesn't really show your rolls on this.
Yeah, as the rays hit the creature in the back, only 2 of them seem to penetrate the thick hide.
And because she cast it through that particular one, she also gets an extra 1d8. In which I don't think I have anything set up for that, so I'll just roll 1d8. Great. So that is a 13 fire damage from a level 5 spell. With those 2 hits as well, there's an invisible force that, like, the troll starts reeling backward away from Talos toward the cliff, 5 feet each time.
Okay. Is that with each hit or once in total?
It says every time it... Well, let me share the description. Spell hits it with an attack. And these roll separate attacks.
Yeah, that'll work. So 10 total feet, is that correct?
Yep. And she calls out to the golden bird that's been flying overhead. Actually, I don't think she needs to. Yeah, it was within range. So overhead, there's the golden mechanical bird that's been flying overhead with a small wooden carving clutched in his talons. And she glances up at it for a moment, and there's a pulse of energy that seems to connect them for a second. Not an invisible line, but just a sense of pressure. And there's a mote of light that starts at the beginning, the entrance of this little wooden carving, which if anyone was close enough to see, it looks like a tiny wooden cannon. And then a boom as a bolt of light comes out and aims toward the troll. Which doesn't hit.
And the creature, again, rocked by another one of these spells, but it doesn't seem like it penetrates the thick hide. However, after this flurry of blasts from you and from the bird overhead, the creature turns and glares over its shoulder, definitely taking notice of your group now.
The bird takes his turn after me. I can't take actions unless I order it, but it can move. So it is going to move over, I guess just over to like here. Or no, I think it only has like 3 feet. So over there. That'll be it. Although it just hangs back.
And if I'm doing the math correctly, your total damage for the turn was under 20, is that right? Let's see, Squire, your turn.
Sort of surveying the area for a second, he takes the bow off and arms it, drawing an arrow and sort of taking aim. He takes a moment, sort of, to steady himself before lining up a shot. And before he releases the arrow, he goes, Merrick, anything you should know about this? Any weaknesses? And before he lets fly a silvered arrow towards the creature.
I'm going to move you a little closer to the cliff's edge so you have a good line of sight.
And that is a critical strike, so sneak attack. Take a couple of those.
And just to make sure that I understand, so your highest roll is a 19, you critical with a 19?
Yes.
Excellent.
I don't know if I did that right, but okay, let's see. All right, help me add the damage, because I just need to add...
Yeah, there is a slight problem on the first one. Your proficiency bonus is being added to your attack damage. Is that supposed to be there?
No, the proficiency bonus is not supposed to be added to the attack damage.
Okay, so we'll just reduce 5 from the overall damage in the end.
Okay. Yeah. You'll have to add up the damages. I'm still having a hard time reading what these are.
Oh, I see. Sorry, that was not correct. I was looking at the first roll, which is actually your attack roll. So the
Okay,
first
yeah.
damage is the second thing. And then the only things that needs to be corrected for is that... Oh, did you roll multiple attacks at the same time?
I rolled 2 to try to get the, yeah.
Oh, so I see. We're just taking the damage from these?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to... I don't know how to add damage appropriately, because I have to roll with the function, and then I don't know how to roll damage.
Okay.
But there will be 2 attacks, ultimately, so
I think
it'll
I
be
understand.
1 arrow and then another arrow.
Yeah. Okay, I think I understand. So we're taking the second and the fourth roll. So there's an issue, though. It looks as though what happened... I see. Okay. We'll just manually do it. Obviously, it's applied... Oh, no, that would actually work. Because you get a critical with a sneak attack, that would actually be rolled twice. Okay. I think that'll work. The only thing is we'll have to reduce 4 because you don't get your ability bonus twice.
Okay.
So we're getting 24 plus 25 minus 4.
So 45?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay.
45.
45 silver piercing damage.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Right. Yeah, you see the silver arrow glint against the light, stick in the creature's back. It seems to penetrate the hide effectively. There's a grumbling roar from the creature as the arrow sinks in.
Okay, and he moves a little bit and then takes one more shot. This one will not have sneak attack.
Okay.
It's a 26, and I'll roll for damage. For 10 more, and that's a regular arrow, not a silvered arrow, so...
Yeah, you see this one that hits the hide. It doesn't penetrate quite as well. You realize it's resistant to this kind of damage.
Okay, yeah, he moves over along the cliffside here, and takes a... yeah, moves away a little bit.
So 2 arrows flying down from the cliffside. The next is going to be next to me.
Sal, you see the composure of Bax shift slightly as his shoulders kind of hunch over a little bit, and he like begins leaning forward, and you hear him whispering to himself, "Dun, dun, dun," and he sprints off 40 feet straight ahead as he pulls out a short bow. And as he sprints off, you can't help but notice that there seems to be like a stream almost of like glittering black coming off the side of him. As bonus action, I cast Hunter's Mark on the troll. And take a shot with short bow.
Oh, that's a critical hit.
Holy shit. Oh, I forgot to ping my Hunter's Mark as well. Does Hunter's Mark get rolled twice?
What's the spell say? I think there's a lot of spells we'll have to refresh. Treat as though we don't know what they do, because I don't want to make assumptions about things that might have changed.
Let's see. Magically mark a creature, yada yada. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 force damage to the target whenever you hit it with an attack roll. Have an advantage, yada yada yada. If target drops to 0, you can use bonus action to move the mark. It doesn't mention anything about critting.
I think it still is included as part of your attack, I do believe. So it does benefit from the crit. I believe was the intention.
Okay, so I'll just roll Hunter's Mark twice.
I'm looking at your short bow, and I see it's rolling the 1d6, 1d6. But
that's from the crit, isn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't. Is your dexterity being added in there? Maybe it is. Yeah, 4 plus 5. Okay, I see. Interesting. It's weird that I can't mouse over. For some reason,
yeah,
I
I
can't
see
mouse
that as
over
well.
to see. Okay, I think that's working.
Although I do have a fast question about one of my feats. That may change the damage slightly. I have Great Weapon Fighting, which says that whenever I'm holding, using a... Oh no, that's melee weapon. Excuse me, never mind. So this doesn't add to that then. So now, yeah, so that'll be 9 damage. Let me add the Hunter's Mark. Rolling that twice, correct?
I think so, but Sav, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I was just going to say I just looked up the critical hits roll, and it's basically the same as it was before. So if it involves other damage dice, such as from the rogue sneak attack feature, you also roll those dice twice.
Okay.
So I think Hunter's Mark includes.
Okay, rolling that real fast. It's not letting me, so I'll just roll 2 random d6. So that's 9 plus 7 for, is that 16 total damage?
Right. And the weapon you're using, regular, magical, silver?
Regular.
Okay. And so 14 total damage, and you'll deal 7.
And then with the Vex Mastery, I have advantage on my next attack after hitting it.
Okay.
So, second attack, and I'm going to spend a superiority dice and make this a goading attack as well.
And to be fair, when you're using abilities, go ahead and report them to the chat so we can see kind of what they do.
Well, if this hits, this will be a goading attack that it has to make a save against. so that's 28 to hit.
It will definitely hit.
So that's only rolling the bow damage, not the... Interesting. Okay. Why are you not adding the other damage? So it'll the troll now needs to make a DC 17 Wisdom save to not be goaded.
It's going to take 5 damage from that. And then it's going to make its wisdom saving throw. Does very poorly. Gets a 5.
So it has disadvantage on attacks against all creatures that are not me. And let me also... I don't think it added the superiority damage or the hunter's mark damage. So that was 5 total damage, and then... So hunter's mark is an additional 4, and then superiority is +7.
So it took the first damage from the 10. That additional damage is for +7 or 11. And in previous seasons, we had always rounded in what's worse for the player, but we're just going to do by the book. So I believe we always round up now. So you're looking at 6 points of damage, I believe.
Okay, yeah. Bax runs up, mist streaming out of his right eye as he looses 2 arrows at this thing. That second arrow catching it slightly in the eye as he attempts to pull its direction directly towards him. And that's my turn.
Yeah, definitely. And the creature had turned its eyes probably toward Squire up on the cliff, but as you hit it with a particularly stinging blow, it whips around and looks at you, Bax. At the end of your turn, the creature is going to use a legendary action. Aggressive leap. So it's going to use one of its 3 legendary actions to make a 40-foot leap in your direction. So I could get pretty close, but not actually all the way to you. So it leaps through the air, landing in front of you. Ice all across the ground. Cracks and bits of debris fall from the walls nearby. The creature is hulking over you now.
And I need to make a strength save on that?
No, it didn't actually land into occupy your spot. It was just short. It was 5 feet short of actually hitting you.
Okay, choice, yeah. Bax smiles.
Anything else on your turn? And I believe you did just under 20 damage, so its fury does not increase.
I did over 20.
I increased it on your turn.
Oh, okay.
Action, point. Yep, nope, that's it.
Caspian runs to the cliff edge, and his eyes goes wide. He's look at that beast. And he gets the short bow off his back and fires 2 arrows, and they stick in the creature for a bit of damage. Peach Pine.
Peach also moves to the edge of the cliff a little bit, and she takes a knee right at the edge. And she looks where the troll has gone, measures a little bit with her eye in her hand, and then puts her 2 forefingers together and starts to pull a mote of fire apart between her fingers like this. And she's going to cast a firebolt at the dragon, or at the troll.
Right. And we'll say you're, you guys knows you guys are elevated, but we'll say you're just in range.
Yeah. I was prepared to pull out the Pythagorean theorem if need be, but it looked
Yeah, we'll just
artistically correct.
Yeah, we'll truncate it a little bit.
I don't know which one I clicked correctly though.
So it looks as though your attack roll was an 11. Your damage roll follows. So that fireball goes flaring in. The creature, as it's moving, looks like maneuvering to attack backs. The fireball goes over its shoulder, hits the rock wall.
Great. No problem. Peach kind of falls back on her heels and looks over at Sav and says, "Well, good luck in any case. And Sav, you can take a bardic inspiration. That will end my turn."
So yeah, go ahead and click your bardic inspiration ability and report it.
Will do.
I'll just relearn the abilities.
Need to find it.
Merrick moves to the edge of the rock wall looking down. You hear him say, "I need help." He starts to fish rope and grappling hook out of his bag and begins to set up rope to climb down. Mosria. Nira?
I have some terrain questions. So the area immediately to the right of me, is that considered difficult terrain?
Area immediately to the right of where you are.
Like if I'm to move in the direction of the chat box.
Oh yeah, I was just finding your character. It's a little icy, but no, right now you're not on difficult turn.
Okay, so I'm going to move 20 feet in that direction first. I think, hold on. Okay, and then I'm gonna use a ability to teleport 30 feet, which put me... Can I land here? Here? That's 32. This is 28.
It has to be under. You can't go over. So if you have to cut under.
Okay. So to there.
I mean, what are you doing? What's it look like as you're teleporting, and what ability are you using?
I'm using... I'll drop it in once I find it on my sheet. I'm using something called Moonlight Step. I'm using my bonus action to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space I can see. And when Mosrael does this, she becomes... her image of her body like shifts and changes and kind of flickers out in a bright flash of light. And there's a gentle streak of light through the air in the direction that she teleports in. And with a gentle burst of light, she appears, not like burst, but like a glow appears where she materializes in a moment. And she is in that new spot. See, so in terms of range, I need to measure again. Does that put me within 90 feet of the creature, Chris?
Close.
The measure on the thing. Okay, great. I'm going to cast a spell with my action. This one I'm prepared to drop in. Hold on. I'm casting at the 4th level, Elemental Bane. You need to make a DC 17 Constitution save.
Save for the creature?
Did it drop in this description for you?
No. Strangely, there's nothing in the description of the spell that went to chat. Ah, there it is that time.
You can hit details.
Can you see it now?
Should show it.
Yes.
It didn't show up for me the first time, but did it show up the second time?
Yeah, when you report the spell itself, it's there, but in the description details, when you actually cast it, it's yeah.
Got it.
So,
I'll figure that out. Okay.
So it got a 13, so it failed its saving throw against you.
Great. So I am choosing fire damage as the type. And so you are affected by the spell for a duration, which is concentration, or I think it's at 1 minute. If I'll double check on that. The first time each turn, you take the damage of the chosen type. The target takes an extra 2d6 damage of that type. Moreover, the target loses any resistance to the damage type until the spell ends. So fire is the one that I've chosen. Am I also rolling 2d6 damage now? It's all new to me, sorry.
I don't believe when you cast the spell, I think when it takes damage of that.
Then it takes an extra 2d6 damage?
Yeah, when it takes damage.
Okay. So let me describe what this looks like. Bear with me while I scroll through 5 million spells. Yeah, so Mosrael whispers a word under her breath, and you see a gentle glowing orb of light form in her hands. And within that orb, the flicker of a flame appears, and she gestures out with her free hand. She's holding a staff in her other hand. She gestures towards the creature, and this ball of light flies towards it, and as it hits the creature gently glows for a moment, and then that glow fades, and you see sort of like this faint image around it for a brief moment of like it's engulfed in flames, and then that image fades.
Okay. Because you've put a lingering effect on the creature, you're going to learn about one of its abilities. It doesn't trigger now, but it may trigger in the future. It's a feature called Juggernaut. If this creature takes more than 20 damage on a turn, at the end of that turn, it rolls a d6 to potentially purge itself of one negative.
And before my turn ends, can I just inquire how high is the cliff in the area that I'm in? If I have 30 feet of Moonlight Step in the future, can I potentially teleport to any place further down from where I am?
Yeah, I'll use the spot to measure. Yeah, you guys are 50 feet in the air right now.
Okay, so 30 feet wouldn't get me to the bottom anywhere.
Not all the way to the bottom.
Well, I can't hover in the air yet, Chris. Like ledges I could potentially land on in the middle?
Yeah, potentially. If you wanted to try, because there's lots of little facets. If you wanted to try to, do your teleport and then grab on somewhere, I would allow you, an athletics check to hold on.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Alright, anything else on your turn?
That's it for now.
Salinger Morel.
Sal watches back start past him, start firing off arrows. Sees the other attacks on the other sides, more arrows raining down from above, and lets out a low growl, which echoes longer than it should as he starts to run. The fur cloak that he had wrapped around himself falls off, and he starts to increase in size by the time he's run shockingly fast for his build. About 50 feet forward, he's double the size he was before. His eyes are glowing red. There's a hammer that's on his back that goes flying over his shoulder towards the Yeti that looks like it has magma dripping from the surface of it, putting up little steams of motes in the snow. And then roll attack.
Go ahead and move your figure toward you.
You want me to link any of the abilities that are part of this, or just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
attack?
Anything that you're using, go ahead and link that so we can learn.
Oh, a 19 misses, doesn't it?
Well, just barely.
All right. As the molten hammer that grew right along with Salinger, it's all approximately his height, so close to 14 feet, passes by the thing. It just reappears in his hand. He continues spinning with the same momentum, and it flies out towards the creature again.
Ooh, very cool.
Reckless on the second one,
Sounds good.
because he got frustrated. But maybe the next one will be a crit. It'll be worth it. Okay, 25 hits.
I just as a note, in your guys' character sheets, you should be able to set it to roll automatically roll advantage. And what it looks like is though, when you get a critical, there are two buttons, one for regular damage, one for critical damage. So even if you roll advantage, but you're only using the first die, and you get a critical on the second die, it should still let you roll regular damage, not force you to roll critical damage. So that should make the process feel a little faster for you guys.
Okay.
However, in this case, you hit and yeah, so non-critical hit.
So as it impacts, there's 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and then a spark of flame from the magma reading it does an additional 1.
What type of damage is that magma?
It's fire.
Yeah, so that triggers Mosriel's ability, I believe, because it took 1 point of fire damage. Takes an additional 2d6 fire damage.
Synergy.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll that.
Eight more fire.
Excellent. So we can get 6 plus 1 plus 8. Still under 20. Alright. Anything else in your turn?
That's super so. Maybe some heavy breathing, a little bit of smoke from his nostrils.
The kid, Velt, his eyes go wide. He goes, I can make it. And he leaps from the cliff edge down to a section here on the rocks. Let's roll a d20 for him. On that. Yeah.
How far away is he
From you?
Yeah.
About 30 feet.
See him just jump off. Sav makes a strangled shout and then throws out a hand, and there's a little puff and like some golden beads. It looks like whir out and they attach to his ankles and form little energy field-looking lines as she casts Featherfall on him.
Okay, yeah. So as he tries to make it, begins to slip and fall, falls off the side. You see him flailing, trying to grab the edge, but he's descending really slowly. And he gets 60 feet, right? I'll actually float him all the way down to the ground. You see him, his eyes wide, and he kind of catches his balance. He's at the ground. He goes, I did it!
I have no more reaction to talk.
Oops. At the end of the kid's turn, the frost troll silverback is going to use his last legendary action. Take a swipe of his claws on one at Bax, one at Tal.
The Talith one will be at disadvantage.
Excellent. This is for Bax. It's going to be a 23 to hit.
All that hits.
You're looking at 41 points of bludgeoning damage plus an additional 4d8 because of the fury. Wow, what a roll. An additional 22, so you're looking at 63 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to roll a natural 20 on my concentration check.
Yeah, likely.
Nah, man. I didn't make it. I lose Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, so these massive claws slash through you, and you lose concentration on your Hunter's Mark. The continues the big swing of its arm going for Talith, and this will be disadvantaged. Does a
Thank you,
13?
Max.
Does a 13 hit your armor class, Talith? I don't believe so. Yeah. So this creature, its focus so entirely on Bax, it swings a little high, and you're able to get your shield up. Sparks rain out across the frost. You're still standing. Then it is the turn of the frost troll Silverback.
Does his fury swipe? Does that keep building? Even
It reduces back to 0 after it hits someone with it.
Gotcha.
So on its turn, it's actually going to take a swiping attack again, this time with the other hand swinging through, coming at Bax first. I don't think a 12 is going to hit you, though, is it?
Just duck out of the way.
Yep. Passes over your head, and you have just experienced how hard this thing can hit. But it spins around, and its claw goes slashing at Talith. A disadvantage, correct? Oh, that's a 27 and a 28. Two fantastic rolls. So this time, Talith is going to be hit for 48 points of bludgeoning damage. I don't think anything else happens on the creature's turn. So Talith, it's your turn again. Massive claws have just hit you, stumbling you across the ice. You can tell this thing is strong.
How after recoiling back from that attack, he is going to, as the claw is leaving from him, he's going to bring his sword up. He's going to give two more slashes. That hit.
19 as you swing in will hit a hard nodule of bone on the creature's elbow, deflecting away.
Oh, whoops. Never mind. My bad. Okay, then he will follow up with another swipe.
25 will hit. Alright, so it's taking full damage from the silver sword, only half damage from the radiant. You slash into the back of the creature's thigh. It roars in pain.
And just 1 second, let me double check. Okay, yeah, he will stay there and continue to hold his ground.
Sad. You're up.
Okay. Does oh. Does this spot look like it can hold me? Like I have decent footing.
At a glance, potentially, if you want to know for sure, it would require like an observation.
Do I need to squeeze by this guy if I move there? Because I need this difficult terrain.
None of that's difficult terrain, though. I guess we should. Do you happen to know off the top of your head, is moving through a friend difficult terrain in this version?
I don't think so. I think you're allowed to move through friends. It's without it being difficult terrain.
Yeah, I think
I'll
Patrick might be
double
right.
check.
I
Yeah,
don't
I'll
remember
double
that.
check,
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, sounds good.
Either way, I'll probably end up here because I think I have some
Yeah,
movement
'cause-
anyway, and if not, then I'll just fall.
I feel like that's a house rule that moving through friends is difficult terrain.
Far out of range, but
Yeah, as you move to the cliff's edge, roll a d6, and if you get a 6, the ground gives out. Solid rock beneath your feet.
They are going to think. Yeah, I think they'll just go ahead and just cast Scorching Ray again. This time only at 2nd level though. So I'll probably do just as much damage as before, if that. There we go.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, for future reference, yeah, no, I guess it is difficult terrain.
No, it's if it's tiny or your ally. So if it's tiny or your ally, it is not.
Oh, or your ally. Gotcha.
So you can move through enemies now. Cool.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it looks like 2 of those hit.
Excellent.
That is 9 and 14 damage, and because of they are casting through the arcane firearm, and this is an artificer spell for me, that gets an additional 1d8, which I still forgot. That's 2.
Is it fire
Once
damage?
again.
Does it get extra fire damage from
It is fire damage.
Elemental Bane?
Yeah, I believe it is going to.
And how much extra damage?
2d6, I believe.
I think it was 2d8. Let me double check. Nope, you're right, 2d6.
So additional 6 is 8, 12, just over 21.
Alright. You want the
And
Fire.
with those two,
And you should
Oh, go, what were you saying?
and you shouldn't have resistance to it, right?
Yeah. It does not have resistance. Yeah, all right. So there's the blast from the scorching rays hit the creature, and the creature arches forward, it's back in pain, elbow is going back, and clearly hurt badly by the blast. At this point, all of your combined attacks together, the creature's looking in bad shape. There's blood dripping down onto the snow. You have officially bloodied this Frost Troll Silverback.
they are going to move back a teeny bit. Just scooch this way, so it's not so easy to snatch off the edge. Oh, and also with those two rays I hit, I'm going to try and pull it back 5 more feet each time, so 10 feet total. Unfortunately, I don't believe this gives them attack of opportunity anyway.
Does it automatically move, or do I roll saving throws?
Automatically moves, yeah. Let me show it again.
Yeah. And so there's a what's it look like actually from other people's observations as this happens?
When each time that it gets hit by one of these rays, it almost looks like it flashes around, like wrapping its bulky shoulders in a mantle of light, and it's as if his shoulders suddenly jerk back and become immensely heavy, and it reels back, stumbling and in a way that doesn't look like it's necessarily lost its footing, but somehow it's almost like leaping upward practically. And then for my bonus, I will use my Archif. That is just the whole thing, but it's on the Force Ballista version. So.
Okay. And what is this looking like? Or what are we seeing for this?
Not pinging.
Oh wait, you're not speaking.
Oh, sorry. Once again, from the claws of this golden mechanical bird, the tiny carved cannon, the muzzle of it starts to glow white hot, and then it, boom, lets out a blast, and that connects from the muzzle to the troll. Or does not connect, actually. It just kind of goes off to the side and shatters, a piece of ice somewhere else.
Yeah, bits of debris go flying all across the battlefield.
And meanwhile, the bird, which I double-checked and actually has a 40-foot flight range, will move over there with it. I think that's it from me. Oh, Aloysius is going to, with his goatee legs, will move. It says semi-colored. Actually, it should be Aloysius. Yeah. Oh, it's not his turn. Never mind. He doesn't do it.
Squire, it's your turn.
Okay, yeah. He draws another silvered arrow, locks on. He's taking aim at the creature. Before he pulls back the bow, he glances down at the terrain itself. Does it look like they're standing on thick sheets of frozen river, or is this rock?
No. It's certainly some combination of ice and things of rock. You get the impression, based on you've seen the creature leaping around in the ground, this is so thick there's not really danger of them falling through ice here.
Got it. Okay. Noting that, he just sort of takes a deep breath, lets it out as he pulls back the bow, taking aim, and he's going to take another shot at this creature.
Alright, 27 will hit.
Okay, and with sneak attack. It's going to be, I think, 14 plus 4. Is that 18 damage, I think? 18 silver damage.
So yeah, 18 silver damage.
Then takes a second shot, this time again with just a regular arrow.
.26 will hit.
And that one just does the 4 plus 4, so 8, I think. Oh,
4 points of damage.
Yeah, I apologize. The first attack that I told you should have been 20 damage, I think. Not whatever I told you.
Okay, so adding 2.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
And
Looks-
because it's taken 20 damage on a turn, I'm going to roll a d6. It does not urge the magic.
He calls out to the kid down there and says, "Stay back, kid. Don't get too close." And end of his turn.
Yeah, and I think... Yeah, we will... Do any of you happen to remember if there are rules about speaking not on your turn? I know on your turn you can speak for free by the regular book rules.
I think you can still speak, but you're supposed to keep it really short. You're not supposed to like go on and on. So like quick things to say to one another.
Okay. Then we'll say, to make an official rule, you can speak 3 words on once per not your turn. After that, it will cost you a reaction. So, yeah, so to that effect, the kid, his eyes wide, looks up. He goes, "Got it." Backs to Mir.
Trained on this thing, seeing that it slides back, Bax switches out his bow for it. Is it daytime or nighttime for us?
You guys are on the sun side of this mountain right now.
That'll work. Okay. Bax will trade out his short bow for his glasswood spear and run up and continue his barrage against this troll. Let's see, so it's taking damage, so I'm going to include Colossus Slayer damage in this, and I'm also going to turn this into a goading attack again.
Okay. And sorry, just for like an official thing, just in case you have an item or something that depends on daytime or nighttime, you are in daytime.
Got it. Okay, so then that means that this is the spear is going to do an additional d6 radiant damage if it hits.
Sounds good.
Does a 38 hit?
It does indeed.
It better.
So that is... Okay, I think I see how it's rolling the additional damage that I'm trying to queue up. Okay, so that is 15 piercing damage plus 3 from Colossus Slayer, so 18 plus an additional 3 from the goading attack, so 21 total damage.
Okay, and none of this is silver or fire, right?
Correct. And it must make another DC 17 wisdom save.
Fails.
For until the end of my next turn, it has disadvantage on all attacks against other creatures aside from me. Colossus, goading. Okay, second attack, and I'm going to, as a bonus action, add a second level Divine Smite onto this.
Ooh, okay.
So we'll attack first. Oh, wait. Oh. Before I forget. I have a specific thing. Okay, and I still need to figure out how this is going to work exactly. I have a feat, and this is what I was referring to earlier. Great weapon fighting. So anything that I'm holding with 2 hands, I treat a 1 or 2 on a damage die as a 3 instead.
Okay.
So I think that you should add 2 more damage to that last attack that I did.
And what's the rule? You treat a 1 or 2 as a 3? Or
Yes, just automatically. Any weapon that I'm holding with 2 hands, you treat any 1 or 2 on a damage die as a 3.
excellent. Yep. So additional 3 damage.
2.
So 2. Well, after cutting it in half? Or?
No, that's before. So total damage would have been 23 before cutting it in half.
Interesting. So when I'm looking at your dice, I see a 1 and a 2. So that 1 would become a 3 and the 2 would become a 3. So that would be 3 damage, right?
Where do you see the 2?
On your second glasswood spear damage.
Oh, the radiant damage? I think it only applies, and I mean, granted, this is your call. I figured that only applied to the melee damage, not the magical radiant damage.
Well, let's see. I didn't realize that was the radiant part. Okay, so we're going to add 1 damage. Because of the resistance.
And because it's a spear, I have spear mastery, that applies sap to that previous attack, so... Oh, excuse me. I have... that creature has disadvantage. The creature has disadvantage on its next attack before my next turn. Okay, and now, second attack. And again, bonus action, second level divine smite as well. 28 to hit. So that's 14 piercing plus 6 radiant.
10.
And then divine smite. Where do I have that? Oh, it didn't even prompt me. Okay, so that's only first level, so let me add 1 more d8 to that. Okay, so that is 19 radiant damage on that divine smite.
So 19... No. Right?
Oh, so many new rules. Okay, and I think that is my turn.
Alright, yeah, so she flashes from the spear and just flashes of golden light. This creature is staggering now. Looks like it's in pretty bad shape. You seem to be winning this battle. Caspian on the wall says, "We've got him on the run." Loads 2 more arrows. It takes 2 more arrows, loads into a short bow, firing. One of them misses, getting off the ice. Another one hits the creature for a bit of damage. Also on Bax's turn, I actually need to roll the d6. Yeah, the creature does not use its purging effect.
Oh, I need to roll a concentration save for when he hit me earlier. I
Okay.
just realized that.
What are you concentrating on?
Shield of Faith.
Okay. Yeah, roll a d20, and I think you need to get like a 22 or something like that.
How do I roll? Just a d20?
On your character sheet, roll a Constitution saving throw. And if you have Warcaster, remember this is advantaged.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
Hey,
Hey.
that's a natural 20 plus a 7. That makes it. You do not lose concentration on your Shield of Faith. Anything else on your turn? No, that was Caspian's turn. Peach Pine, your turn.
And attempt firebolt again.
So what's your firebolt look like?
So, Peach has taught herself how to do this since coming to in that field. She used to be able to snap her fingers and get a good little spark going, prestidigitate some flame. Now it takes a minute. So it seems like a little spark happening between her fingertips at first, and then she has to sort of kindle it, like it's catching flame in between her fingers, and then she expands it to just big enough between her fingertips that she can blow it on, almost like blowing out a candle, but then that would bring the mote of fire down toward the target. Except it misses.
Yeah, as flashes of light and this bolt of fire goes down, hitting nearby rocks, sending more debris flying, you can tell this creature is in bad shape. It looks as though what seemed like a harrowing battle to begin with is swinging in your favor. Anything else on your turn, Peach?
She'll just yell down, "Nice job down there, boys!" No bardic inspiration, just encouraging.
Okay. Yeah, and I think Salinger, certainly a familiar voice echoes across the rocks. And you make out on the cliff face someone you know. I've got initiative for Samakel. Is that how you say this?
Yes, that's supposed to be Aloysius.
Oh.
Not sure why it did the other.
I generated a random name. Okay.
No, that's the name of one of my other creatures.
Oh.
I have too many dang pets.
Okay. Does Aloysius want to do anything?
Yeah, Aloysius is going to just move, but so I can move on while he goes. This is probably climbable to a goat, right? He has a climb speed.
For a goat? Yeah, that seems like it makes sense.
Okay, so he's gonna go over here and then I guess use his 30-foot climb speed, so he's gonna use 10 feet to go down. So end up right there, just first from the edge. Boop.
Sounds good. See, Merrick has finished fixing grappling hook and rope. He repels down off the edge. You can see he slides down, the gauntlets on his hands. Bit of debris from the rope and smoke until he hits the bottom. Make a little rope. Rope. Yeah, that's all of his movement for sure. Salinger Moreau.
Sal grips the hammer he's holding with both of his hands, takes just a couple of large steps forward to get within 10 feet of this creature, and then swings it down at his head. I mean, is it over 30 feet tall? Can I hit it in the head?
It's quite tall. 30 feet?
Yeah, 15 feet plus a 15-foot hammer because they both double in
Yeah,
size.
just in reach. Just in reach.
So reckless again. I think I have all the buttons clicked, so this will roll correctly without me having to do anything extra.
The creature's more wide than it is tall.
Yeah, it didn't do the reckless, even though I have it clicked on, so I'll just roll another attack roll.
Just do another roll.
Hey, 27's better.
27 hits.
So 18 bludgeoning damage as it smashes into this thing's face, then 6 fire damage as the molten sheath around it ignites on its surface.
Let's roll an extra 2d6.
So 3 total, a d6 from me and 2 from Ray, right? So an extra 8 fire damage, so 26 total from that swing. Take a second attack, this time swinging back up, trying to check it in the chin. Misses.
Yeah, the first one, boom, connects hard. The creature staggers. As you swing through with the others, it smacks the hammer to the side with a big claw.
Furious at not being able to take the thing down, he roars and uses an action surge to go again.
Ooh, excellent.
He'll actually step in closer than he needs to when he does that. There we go, 22.
22
That's
hits.
still right. So 20 bludgeoning damage plus another d6 fire with the second swing, this time coming in from the right, hitting him around the chest. Does the 2d6 from Ray happen again every time fire hits it?
Well, let's double check. Click that ability one more time. The first time each turn, so just the once.
Okay. So 22 from the action surge first attack, and then the extra attack from getting an extra attack action.
Alright. You can see the creature grows in fury.
And I miss again, but I'm not angry enough that surge.
Yeah. As you're coming in with these heavy blows, the creature, and the first one hit it hard, and you've cracked one of its tusks. But as you swing in with the others, it's got its big arms in the way, parrying away the blows. You can tell that the creature it's in pain. It's getting fearful now.
Okay. Last thing I'll do is use a bonus action, and he slams the hammer into the ground, and where the fire was, lightning arcs around him. A little bit of ozone smell and steam comes off his shoulders instead. And my turn.
Right.
I'm back with questions. Okay, Chris. If I, in theory, jumped off the cliff and used Featherfall from where I'm standing, can I land where I'm pinging feasibly?
Yeah.
Like, it looks like a little, like, ledge. Is that reasonable to assume I could jump and land there?
Yeah, that seems fair.
Okay, and that brings me to my second question. It's been so long since I've been any kind of spellcaster properly. So if I use my reaction during this turn to cast that spell, will I still have a reaction after the end of my turn for the next round? Does it reset at the end of your turn? Right?
When does your reaction refresh?
Refresh, yeah. It's the end of your turn, right?
Well, that's a good question. I don't actually know. Let's take a look.
I think that's how we used to do it. Like, if you used your reaction to talk out a turn,
Yeah, but
as we
I
play-
made a lot of house rules, so we're gonna see
Okay.
what it actually is. Because I would do things differently than the book sometimes does them.
Okay.
Reactions refresh at the start of your turn.
Okay.
So then if I use it during this turn, I wouldn't have it for the next round at all.
Yes.
I think it's still worth it to put me in range. Okay, so I am going to first cast Featherfall. So she will take a running leap and leap off the edge of the cliff. And as she does, she casts a spell and she floats quickly, but with like a gentle speed down and lands gently on the ledge there.
It would be very funny to me if Sav saw you doing this and it was like also reaching out to cast it at the same time. Like, what the fuck?
It also was thinking like triple Featherfell.
Yeah, you just see her. You see her like just sprint towards the edge of the cliff, and she leaps over, and you see her like waving her arm through the air, and she, her descent.
It's very
instantly
obvious
begins
she's
to, like,
casting a
float.
spell as she goes. Okay.
Yeah, it's really clear that she's got magic. She's not just like, I'm just gonna plunge off this cliff now. Bye.
Oh no, that other kid did.
Yeah. So I was just surrounded herself with all these suicidal young people.
Literally
No.
lemmings.
Yeah, you'll see that she's not counting on Sav to save her. She's gonna use her own magic to descend down, and I kind of want for flavor as she's floating down to cast a second spell. Does that make sense? Like
It depends.
mechanically, we can say it.
You can. I think you can still cast a cantrip because you're casting a leveled spell, which is your
It is a
Featherfall.
cantrip, yes.
Yeah, no, I
Yes.
think you
So
can.
let me scroll through my 5 screens to find the one with my sheet. I'm gonna cast Firebolt.
Excellent.
Did it work? Did I click the right thing?
You did. Looks like you rolled a 16 to hit. So that firebolt hits probably a thick part of the creature's shoulder. There's a burst of flame. It doesn't seem like it penetrates the hide.
When she casts Firebolt, you don't see fire itself erupt from her hands, but it is, again, like a bright flash of warm light that kind of crackles and sizzles as it goes through the air. But yeah, it deflects off of its thick hide. And just to confirm, Chris, I'm not going to read the whole thing or drop it in the chat because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it says if I cast a blank spell with a spell slot or finish a long rest, I can use a certain feature again. So that means if I cast a cantrip with this particular type, that doesn't apply. It has to be at least a level 1 or higher, right?
Yes, it sounds well. I think so. Yeah, leveled spell.
Yeah, it specifically says a spell slot, so I assume since
Yeah,
a
cantrip does
isn't
not
a
work.
spell slot. Okay, all right, that's my turn.
Excellent. Let's see. At the end of Ray's turn. Yeah, this creature is getting desperate now. Uses another legendary action, swiping out at Bax.
Is this its first attack since my turn?
Yes.
It will be at disadvantage.
Yes, indeed. Disadvantage is 25 and a 26.
Yeah, it still hits.
So you're looking at 33 points of damage plus
Plus, hit me, I dare you, hit me.
plus additional 40. So you're taking 73 points of bludgeoning damage as this creature smashes its big clawed hand across your body, swinging around The next blow going for Salinger.
At disadvantage.
Disadvantage. I'm not... Just out of curiosity, not that we have mechanic for it anymore, but there are some things that key off of it. Are you bloodied now?
Yeah. Incredibly bloody.
Yeah.
Very bloody, guys.
You guys see blood splatter out across the snow. Bax looks incredibly bad shit. Next blow is going for Salinger. Disadvantaged.
It would be regular.
Early, because I'm reckless. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's a 21 to hit. Will that hit your armor class, Salinger?
Oh, yeah. This big fella's clearly not wearing any armor. It's pretty easy to hit him.
Alright. You're looking at 44 points bludgeoning damage. And it will be the Frost Troll Silverback's turn. And, yeah, still reeling around, growing frantic now. Another swing goes for Bax. Rage and fear filling the creature. And this is a regular attack, right? Not disadvantage this time?
Correct. Yeah.
Take a look. Oh. That's going to be... Wait. Oh. I read the wrong thing. Does it... Yeah, 23. Is that going to hit you?
It does. I think the troll backhands Bax into a wall and he falls unconscious.
Yeah. Bax being struck by this enormous fist, just flying, hits the rock wall to the side, smashing into it, and then hitting the ground. So we are going to go over what is the new house rule. We are doing negative hit points. So you'll just do the math to see what the how far under you are, and just put that into your hit points. Something like and so you guys know how it works, something like spare the dying. A person will no longer need to make their saving throws, and things like that. But if you want to get them back up and conscious, you do need to heal them up to the amount.
So, like, heal out their negative hit points?
Yes. And so long as they're in the negative until they have to make the death saving throws. Unless they've been stabilized by something. Alright, and then the second swing carrying through, this one's actually going to go for Tal. This creature's panicking, attacking everyone around him. And no longer under the effect of goading attack. Right?
Well, I was going to ask you that. I don't know, because this hasn't happened before, I don't think. I'm pinging it now so that we can reread it. Attempt to goad the target attacking. Superiority die to the damage roll. Target must succeed.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about you needing to...
So it's still scared of me, like unconscious, limp body.
Well, it still
You're like a
hates.
spider.
It still hates you. That's what it does. So, yes, after smashing you into the wall, Talith and Salinger. This will particularly... Well, I think actually just Talith. The creature tries to follow after Bax's body. Tries to take a step away from you. This is an opportunity for an opportunity attack. If you have that, or if you'd like to, or are there any abilities? Oh, actually, before I do that, it actually can't attack the same person twice with this attack. It has to go for one of you. I just realized it can't use it on Bax, so it's actually going to swing at you, Tal. Still disadvantage. And that is going to be a 19. Will that hit your armor class, Tal?
It will not.
Excellent. So yeah, another shower of sparks as this giant fist rocks into you. You can feel yourself knocked backwards a bit. Massive impact going all the way through your bones. but you deflect the blow with your shield. Let's see. Okay, so that finishes the creature's attack. Now it's going to try to move after Bax. So it's stepping away from you if you'd like an attack of opportunity.
Yes, definitely.
Alright. So you'll be allowed to use your reaction to make a weapon attack. Do you, I just don't actually know, do you have the Sentinel feat by any chance?
I don't think so, because I don't know what that is.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so you'll just make a single weapon attack. .26 will hit. Alright, so we're looking at 8 slashing 2 radiant.
Yeah, unless the radiant's halved, then it would be 1 radiant.
Dude. Yeah, so you carve into this creature's back, but the goading, hostile nature of all of Bax's attacks have driven this creature into a frenzy. You can see its bloodlust fixed on him. The creature has moved, but actually cannot make any more attacks on its turn, so it's going to end its turn. You see the kid Velt, his eyes are wide. He shouts up, hoping that Squire Merrick will hear him. That guy, he needs help! You can see he's hesitant. He's hesitating there at the edge of the battle, wants to help, but he's been told to stay back. He has nothing to do. Sal, your turn.
Okay, just a second. That changed things, and I'm trying to make sure I can find this ability.
We're using the reaction to yell, right? Out of our turn.
Oh, yeah. So that'll use the kid's reaction.
Okay. So in that case, then Sav is going to yell, "Take care of the troll! I've got Bax!"
Excellent. Alright, so everyone hears that. Talith, now it's your turn.
Okay, yep, hearing that. Okay, let's see. In that case... Okay. Okay, Talith will step back just a bit. Right about there. And he is going to... He is going to cast Wall of Fire. And I might need help kind of setting it up, but...
Alright. Yeah, after you figure out like what spell to click and all that, yeah, describe to us what we see as Talith casts the spell.
Alright, so you see, after Talith hearing what Sav says, he takes a few... He kind of shuffles back just a little bit. and he brings his sword up over to the side, and you see his symbol on his necklace glow, and at the same time, simultaneously, his sword glows. It's mostly a daylight type of light glow, with an edge on the edges with the red hot steel fire. And as he swipes it across in front of him along the ground, you see, as his sword goes across, fire follows it and shoots out in front, setting forth this 20-foot tall wall of burning, hot, raging fire.
Okay, so, to where do you want to place the spell?
So where I want to place it, because I know that it damages people in their turn within 10 feet. I'm trying to place the wall, the 10-foot limit wall, to stop before it hits Bax's square. So I believe that would be like through the troll. Or through the...
I think you'll definitely be able to do that. I can't really tell from the spell text that got linked here, like, what the dimensions of the wall are.
Oh, you're right. It's not in there. Hang on. Because I guess it's not showing up in the attack part.
60 feet long, 20 feet high, 1 foot thick.
Okay, and can you make it into a circle? Can you...
I can make it into a circle, but it's got to be, I believe, a 20-foot diameter circle, if I did that.
Okay.
And I don't know...
Chris, can I say one more thing about the spell? I don't know if this is talking or helping, but it's
Just
just
if it's actually in the text of the spell.
Yeah. The wall, the fire, and the damage is on one side of the wall, so one side of it can be right up next to a person, and it wouldn't burn them.
Yeah, so that's a 20-foot radius, right? We're looking for a 20-foot diameter.
I couldn't figure out how to actually just post it, so I just copy-pasted it.
And reminder to you, Chris, that in your assets, you have a pre-made thing that will drop into the map at the correct size.
Oh, yeah. So, thank you. So this is 20-foot diameter. So you could, for example, put it here, and the wall could be facing flame side inward, so it would only be hitting the troll, for example.
And right now, he's targeting Bax from Bax's ability, right?
So yeah, as far as you can tell, this creature seems to be fixated and angry at Bax. Bax was just maybe something about the way Bax was stabbing it.
Okay. He is going to... Oh. Yeah, alright, yeah. He's going to... he'll make it the diameter.
That's good. So, I'm going to roll the saving throw against the DC 17. And this is dexterity. It's a 14, so it fails. So it's going to take the full 5d8 fire damage, plus an additional 2d8 because of Ray's ability. So go ahead and roll them. They're an additional 2d6. So 28 fire damage.
Didn't you say an additional 2d6?
Yep, an additional 2d6 fire damage.
So how do I roll, like, just the dice, or the 2d6?
Yeah, so over on the left-hand side, you have a die that looks like a d20. You can click that, and a whole set of options should come up, and you just click the 2 next to the d6 set.
Oh, I was looking at my character sheet. Okay.
Yeah, on the Roll20 interface itself. So 7 fire damage. Exactly on the dot. Talith, please tell me a story.
Okay. So as he finishes doing his sword technique and the flames roar and surge across the troll and circle around him, he begins burning at first, and he's screaming, and he's still trying to slowly make his way towards Bax, trying to get through the flames. And as he takes the first step and his first arm begins to emerge from the flames towards Bax, the fire lashes out, wraps around him, and pulls him back into it. And then the next thing you see is just his charred body seeping down into the ground.
There's a roar that fades out, and its body is charred and turned to ash. The heavy winds are blowing it across the landscape as the fire rages at the center. You have defeated the frost troll Silverback, saved your friend, and reunited with some people you haven't seen in quite some time. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Yay!
All done.
No one died.
We got to make sure we get to
Journey's
Bax
still
pretty
on that.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we maybe Bax is all right?
No, don't worry about it.
Find out next time. Some of us don't have a reaction or anything, but maybe eventually we can fix that. It's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
My boy Sal looks good though, right? Yeah. A little scraped up, fine.
Yeah, if you guys want to, now that you're seeing each other now from this distance, you guys can just give a visual, maybe in the clear light now, a visual description of what your characters look like.
A bloody pulp.
Good start.
Just an unrecognizable.
Can we do it next time? It's really late, Chris.
Yeah, sure.
Can we maybe start with that, with the reunion and the healing? Because some of us have a long day tomorrow. So.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. If you guys want to wait, we can do that.
Yes, please.
Is anyone going to knock?
Good night, everybody.
Who wants to do a thing?
Night.
Or sorry, Nakamuni here next week.
I can probably attend for some of it.
I most likely will not be here next week. I might still be out of town.
Well, then just for because we won't have it next week, and if you need to go, it'll be in the recording. Talith, give us just a reminder of a visual description of what Talith is looking like.
So yeah, I guess in a better light where you can see him a bit more clearly. You still see the scars that you had seen previously. Most of them are like smaller, lighter scars. Of course, with the exception of a few big ones, most notably the one on his forehead, going down to his eyebrow. He's definitely a bit older. He's looking around late 20s, mid 30s. Bits of white here and there kind of beginning to show in his hair. And you also notice his posture and just the way he stands, the way he presents himself is a bit more different than before. It's for anyone who has known him before. His posture is a bit more calm and collected and confident. And aside from the necklaces, oh, yeah, that'd be about it.
Yeah, so we do have a little bit of stinger planned for tonight, actually. So as the wind blows the ashes of this defeated troll across the battlefield, and perhaps in slow motion you see people moving to help fallen backs. A different time in a far different place. You get a glimpse of someone else. Ishtalan.
She's running as hard as she can for that shimmering arch that shows a seething horde of shadows and bugs. Each foot placed in front of the other, stretching as the furthest she's ever done, and then there's suddenly an immense pressure She doesn't know how to explain it exactly. It just feels like something that's calling her away or pushing her out, and then between one breath and the next, she's somewhere else. She stumbles as her body shape, her proportions have suddenly changed. The speed at which she was running, suddenly much too much for her shorter limbs to take. She stumbles and then pitches head first and careens over and over through this ashy gray grass. And stunned, when she finally rolls to a stop, stunned, she can only lie there for a moment, her head spinning, and before she pushes herself up onto hands and knees and looks around frantically. There's no bugs, no shadows, nothing around but pale white sky and pale gray grass and fog. And maybe on the horizon, she's not sure if she's imagining it or not, there might be a tree up in the distance. Her breath starts to come faster, and she's panting, and she looks down at her hands, and they're suddenly no longer long and dark and scarred with years of working on ships. They're soft, small, still a few scars here and there. And then, no. What the fuck? And even her voice is higher than it used to be. It's still slightly croaky from the accident where she'd earned the nickname Fish. And then she just lets loose a primal scream of rage, hot tears springing to her eyes. She pounds her fists on the ground, letting out cries of grief and negation and utter denial until her lungs give out and she's weeping so hard she can't breathe or think, her ribcage stuttering in with each sob that comes too fast for her to get breath. As she slowly starts to fade as the oxygen or whatever it is here that she breathes here, not quite sure, starts to leave her, and she, for a moment, grabs a clump of grass, rips it up from the soil, and then stares at it, just focusing, eyes wide, pupils just gone so wide they've almost entirely engulfed the gold of her irises. Feeling the weight of it, remembering Nunu's words, feeling every tight muscle of her ribs, the hot ache around her eyes. Even this is not quite enough, and so the feeling just bursts up again, and she just instinctively just bites into her own arm, the blood coming down, the poison pumping into her veins. And the dizziness of it finally gives her something to focus on. She breathes through her fangs, through the skin of her arm. And after, who knows how long it is, it's always hard to tell here, she finally finds a measure of peace isn't possible, but at least a moment to reflect and consider what to do next.
I will end for tonight. Nice job, guys.
That was an awesome, excellent additional scene. I'm heartbroken, but I love seeing Ixalan.
She's gonna hunt down Ava real bad.
Oh yeah, that was what I told Chris. I was like, I think I know what this character is. I didn't know Ixtalan was still alive. I was like, you can ask. I was like, I think she's gonna design a character to kill Ava.
All right, folks, I've got an early morning tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
Night,
Nice
guys.
work.